All right, YouTube, TCAP Law back again with another video. And today we're going to be doing Mike Manzi. I'm Chris Hansen. No, you're not. Yes, I am. So this will be a good one. I chose this one specifically because he actually wasn't charged with, sexually indecent conduct with a minor, like attempting that. He was actually charged with risk of injury to a minor, which can include sexual conduct, but it also includes other stuff as well. So I thought this would be an interesting one to kind of break down. It's a little bit different than the other ones. His chat logs weren't as sexual. But again, he was arrested. He did plead guilty. So we'll get into that right now. I think, before I jump into it, go ahead. If you do like these videos, go ahead and subscribe. Because, I just started and I'm a smaller channel. It's not very likely my videos will get recommended to you. And so I think just subscribing to make sure you get all the videos and can enjoy them. So also go ahead and leave any comments of any predators you want me to watch, if you want me to do more chat log readings or interrogation videos. So just so I can know what you guys want to see. All right, so I think first I put together this little document, and it has, what he was charged with. So he was charged with criminal attempt to commit risk of injury to a minor. And so that is this Connecticut General Statute, Section 53-21. So starts off with any person who, and then I highlighted this, does any act likely to impair the health or morals of any child. This is mainly what they got him on, I would assume, because this is obviously different. He didn't actually do this. And so looking at for violations of subsection 1 or 3, which is, again, this one, the one he violated, it's a Class C felony, which is not as bad as a Class B felony. So this one actually gives worse penalties. But again, he was here. So another important thing, so this is attempt to commit risk of injury, right? So this is the attempt statute for Connecticut. So here, right, a person is guilty of an attempt to commit a crime if acting with the kind of mental state required for the commission of the crime. Okay, so first, let's go back to the crime. So this is the crime he was charged with, right? I'm trying to make this understandable, but it is a little confusing. So mental state, that is intent, right? So it can either be intentionally, knowingly, recklessly, or negligence. Most criminal statutes are going to have purpose or intent or knowingly. In the civil side, so for like lawsuits, you start to see more negligence and recklessness. But for this situation, it's right here. So this is the mental state required, willfully or unlawfully. And so unlawfully in this situation would mean he knows there's a law, right? Which means he knows about this law, right? You can't injure a child. That's not as likely. Willfully just means his must basically mean that his purpose is to impair the health or morals of any child. So he doesn't have to know about the law. All he has to know about is what he's doing is not good for a minor, right? And so we go back to here, right? So, right, with the mental state required for this commission of the crime, he intentionally engages in conduct which would constitute the crime if attendant circumstances were as he believes them to be. That's not relevant. I'll probably leave that for another video because attendant circumstances can be pretty confusing. And I think it's just not really worth getting into right here. But this is mainly what they got him on, right? So intentionally does or omits to do anything, which under the circumstances as he believes them to be, is an act or omission constituting a substantial step in the course of conduct planned to culminate in the commission of a crime. So this is very big language. Substantial step. That is essentially what it means to attempt, right? So courts draw a line between what they call mere preparation to commit a crime and a substantial step to commit the crime. Now, this is what good attorneys are going to argue, right? And so it's not really black and white. It's very gray, right? So let's say, for Mike Manzi, right? Going to buy weed to bring to the minor, is that preparation or is that a substantial step? I think, you can make good arguments both ways. I personally think that probably would be a substantial step. But, maybe like calling the dispensary to see if they're open, that's just preparation, right? Putting his shoes on to get in the car, that's preparation. But getting in the car and driving over, that's a substantial step. So it is not super clear exactly, but this is when you go into case law, you go to previous cases, see what the courts of Connecticut have held. But yeah, and then intentionally here is pretty light. It basically just means like he meant to do the substantial step, right? So here it's coming over, right? Coming to the house, that's the substantial step. He intentionally drove over to the house. If he was trying to drive somewhere else and he got lost and he accidentally went to this house, then yeah, he would not be intentionally doing it. But this basically just means you meant to do it, right? So again, back to this. So this is all attempt, right? This is because he didn't actually impair the health or morals of the child, right? Because it was a decoy. There was no child there. So they had to prove this. Well, they would have to if he didn't plead guilty. And then they would have to prove this as well. Now, it's a very broad statute. I mean, does any act to likely impair the health or morals of any child? I think courts are much more likely, or prosecutors are going to be much more likely to prosecute a case where it's impairing the health. Morals, courts have kind of gone away from conducting moral prosecutions. I think, there are good arguments on both sides. Morals can be different between different communities, between different people, but something like this, right? Bringing marijuana to a minor, that's pretty clearly both health and morals. And so I think they had a pretty good case here. And yeah, I think what makes it even stronger, Manzi was caught in 2016, I believe. Let me double check. Yeah, 2016. However, marijuana is legal in Connecticut now, but it wasn't legal until 2021, right? And so bringing an illegal substance to the minor is very clearly, committing risk of injury to a minor here. So yeah, there's really no argument for Manzi. I mean, I do think it's unclear if he actually brought marijuana, but that really doesn't matter because he talked about it. He showed up. He was definitely caught on this, right? And so, yeah, so it's not really an issue. So again, I think they tried to get him on the sexual stuff, but because he didn't really talk that much to Chris Hansen, he didn't really talk to the investigators, and I think he was just being smart, right? I think we all know, okay, he was here to do something with a minor, but he really tried to talk around it and not say it so that way he couldn't be caught. And unfortunately, it worked. But they were able to get him on this other charge. So, all right, I think we talked about everything. I will go ahead and jump into the video.
This 32-year-old guy wants...
Oh, how do I get rid of this? I'll just go full screen. Okay.
To spend a Sunday afternoon chilling with a 13-year-old girl after texting her about getting stoned. But Mike Manzi's date is about to go up in smoke.
So right here you can see they're already leaning in towards the angle of the marijuana, right? Because I think that is the stronger aspect of the case.
You'll be shocked when you hear what Manzi does for a living. He's a math tutor.
Yeah,
You
and
heard
this
it
is
right.
just
He teaches some of New
terrible.
York and
I mean,
Connecticut's wealthiest children how to solve
he's a math
complicated
tutor
equations.
for
But you might say
kids.
Manzi flunked basic arithmetic, because 32 plus 13 adds up to trouble. Online, he calls himself Mike Thrilla. He's a self-employed tutor with a bachelor's degree in mathematics from a small New York college. He's obsessed with pizza.
He's
and
obsessed
he
with
smokes
pizza.
marijuana often. This is the Sting House set up in Fairfield, Connecticut, an upscale
Yeah, so here, I mean, they're just kind of giving some background info.
town on
Nothing too
Connecticut's
much
Gold Coast,
to
about
comment
50
on.
miles from Manhattan. The watchdog group Tetrad Corps is working with the Fairfield cops to bust adult men looking to spend time with 12 and 13-year-old children. Inside it,
I think it's interesting there, Hansen changed the language, right? So usually he says, you know, to meet with a minor and do stuff, right? But here he says spend time with them, which again, I think is just because they couldn't really show the sexual stuff with Manzi's chat log. They
outside,
lean
we've
more
set up
into
more than a
the
dozen hidden cameras.
the
And in our
marijuana
virtual
case.
control room,
Which, yeah,
Tetrad's
I think is
operatives
smart. I
are
think
communicating with Manzi.
Any update on
this is a situation where you clearly know what Manzi wanted to do, but it's just hard to prove it in the court based on what you need to prove, right? And so because of that, they were able to get him on this other charge.
Mike's supposed to be on his way.
These are some of the texts the 32-year-old man who
Like, what
calls
is he
himself
doing?
Mike Thrilla sent
Binge
to our
date and watch
decoy,
movies all
who we
day.
thought
Like,
was
this dude just-
13.
Did you blaze? You're my soulmate. Wow, you are so cute. You look way older, by the way.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
he also admits he shouldn't be talking to a 13-year-old.
it's very clear
Well,
he knows
you're
what he's
cool
doing.
and cute too. I just know I could get in trouble even talking to you.
And he did
you know?
get in trouble.
But Manzi continues texting. He later appears to become suspicious and asks the decoy to send a custom pic with his name on it. His fears that the girl...
Yeah, and having to send a custom pic, I mean, I feel like that's pretty good evidence he was up to no good. Now, what the defense would probably argue is they're saying, oh, well, he was suspicious because he just wanted to bring her marijuana, right? And so he was concerned it was a cop trying to bust him for drugs. But what the prosecution would say is, no, he wanted to, you know, do stuff with this minor. And so this custom picture, it's for that. It's not actually for the drug, but again, that's something that
girl isn't
attorneys are
real
going to
or
argue over in
apparently
court.
quashed. The date is set, and on a crisp autumn day, Manzi arrives at the Sting House.
He just looks so smug. He's like,
Hi. Good. How are you?
At the house, okay?
Yes,
Yeah.
I did. Sorry, I'm being like a little.
No, it's alright.
Weird.
This is like weird.
No, it's not. It's not so much that it's weird. It's well. You mind if I just like look around?
Oh,
yeah, and he wants to look around. I mean, again, just more evidence in my eyes. He knows this might be a sting, right? He probably walked in, he saw the empty house, he saw the curtains. Like, who has curtains up on their door frame like that? He probably knows something is up. He was very careful in the chat logs, and
What Manzi doesn't know is that
Chris
I am
looks
waiting
terrified.
for him right behind that curtain. Mike Manzi is a math tutor. A smart guy who suspected something seemed weird in our Sting House.
You mind if I just like look around?
Oh, go for it.
You okay?
But he
Yeah,
never calculated that I would be the one behind the curtain.
and then Chris pops out.
Hey, how are you?
Hey,
Sit right on that stool, please.
Sure.
No, right here, sir.
You know, I know.
Please, right there.
yeah.
That's Sit, please.
The way he
Okay.
just like refuses to
I
listen to
need
Chris.
to talk to you.
Well,
What are you doing here today?
I'm here because I was slightly concerned.
Concerned about what?
Well, concerned because she's talking to people that are a lot younger, a lot
Oh, a
older.
lot younger.
on the
Freudian
website.
slip.
Now, what?
But yeah, this is the classic Good Samaritan thing that all the predators go into. Oh, I was just concerned about her. I didn't want her to be meeting other guys. I wanted to make sure she was safe. So yeah, I came over to this miner's house and brought marijuana and, you know, told her she was cute in the chat and all this kind of stuff. Yeah, okay, Mike.
Why were you
okay.
so concerned about a 13-year-old girl?
Well, she's talking to other people that are obviously the same age as me.
And how old are
Safe.
you?
I'm 32.
You're
32.
Yes.
So you came over to make sure she was okay?
Well, I came over just to make sure that
Everything was fine.
Everything was okay. I was not.
So you were going to search the house just now to make sure what?
Well,
That's what I'm hearing.
Well, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, what did Mike think? Like, so he says his reason for coming over was to make sure she was okay. So he's going to search her house to make sure, what, she doesn't have any other old guys there? Like, that's, those don't line up, right? And so you're starting to see the flaws in his argument already.
She could come. She could be here with a group of people, for all I know.
And she was.
And she obviously was. I mean, don't you think? Don't you think that would be like a safe idea?
What was today's lesson supposed to be?
It doesn't make sense what he's saying.
Today's lesson for me.
Today's lesson from you.
Today's lesson for me was to not, unfortunately, really worry about other people.
See, he's just... I don't think he realizes what he's saying just doesn't make sense. If he really was worried about her, he wouldn't come over when she's alone and meet her and be like, oh no, are other people here? No, he would probably try to get in contact with her mother or call the police or child services or something.
You're a tutor, correct? Mm-hmm. And who do you tutor?
I tutor our these ages.
Yeah.
Older ages.
Exactly.
What do you tutor them in?
It's just disgusting.
Mathematics.
Mathematics. Mm-hmm. What about smoking marijuana?
Well, I mean, it's not really something that I try to tutor people in, but still.
It seems like it for the chapter.
It seems like it.
Well, you're cool and cute too. I just know I could get in trouble even talking to you, you know.
Well, yes, of course.
I really don't like the way he's chewing. Like it's
But you know, look,
like
man,
mouth open, loud.
Okay. Instead, I have some more questions for you.
Will I be able to leave after your question?
Did you blaze?
Did you play?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Wait, are you answering me or are you reading stuff?
Yes, you can leave after I ask you a couple questions.
Are you sure? Are the police outside or anything?
I'll get to that in a minute.
Please, sir.
See, and he knows the police are outside. How would he know that if he wasn't here to do something bad, right?
Please just tell me because I really can't.
So what it looks like, Mike, is that you came here to smoke weed with a 13-year-old girl, and then whatever was going to happen was going to happen.
Yeah, but that's not entirely what was going on.
Explain it to me.
I just told you I was coming here to make sure everything was okay. Right. It really wasn't that far.
Nope.
I wanted to make sure that.
Oh, it really wasn't that far. No, okay. Like, again, we can see through this, right? And I think it's important to make that distinction. Like, yes, any person who watches these and any person who watches this can clearly see he was here to do something bad, right? However, that's in the court, that's just not always enough, right? And I think this is a perfect example, right? It's not like the prosecutor didn't want to prosecute him. Like, Chris Hansen was working with the police. He was working with the prosecutor. He was, working with the legal system, and it just wasn't enough. And so I think, at least they were able to get him on the
there was
risk
no obviously, she invited me in, and there were not.
So you were just being a good Samaritan.
She invited me
I was trying to a certain extent, but I was coming here to make sure everything was okay.
13-year-old girl.
I deal with kids all the time.
Right. Would you think that the parents of the kids you tutor would be...
Yeah, and that's the gross part, is that he deals with kids all the time, and he comes over to meet one, bring marijuana in to do stuff with. Like, I don't think he realizes he's making it worse. I think all these guys who are like, oh yeah, I'm a teacher, I would never do this to a kid. It's like, no, like that's even more concerning, right?
Comfortable with you coming to visit a 13-year-old girl after talking about smoking marijuana and hanging out?
Probably not. You're
Probably
right.
not.
You're right.
Now you tutor kids.
Sir.
And I think Chris, he hasn't brought it up yet, but he really should have brought up the message where he says like, oh, you're really cute. I could get in trouble just talking to you.
May I ask you a question?
Yes, you may.
First off, that is not completely true.
I have a couple more questions for you, though.
I really don't want to answer any more questions, and I feel...
Do you have marijuana with you?
No, I do not.
Is it in your car?
No, it is not.
Then why did you say you were going to come over here and blaze? What's the lighter for?
I smoke cigarettes. They're in my car.
Again, you see how this looks.
I know how it looks, and I'm sorry.
A 32-year-old guy.
And again, it would have been obviously a lot worse if he did bring the marijuana. Like, I know there's another predator from the old TCAP days that actually does bring marijuana. And
who deals with kids all the time, comes over to visit a 13-year-old girl.
I think if he actually brought the marijuana, I think... ironically, they actually probably could have gotten him on the sexual charge because they're just so linked together.
He was alone after a discussion about smoking marijuana together.
Sir, I understand this. I'm sorry.
Sir, I understand this.
Do you blaze? Did you blaze? Yes. You're my soulmate. You call it 13-year-old
Yeah.
girl a soulmate?
We're
That's
just
gross.
talking. Come on, please.
Come on, you're 32. You got nothing else to do on a Sunday?
I'm gonna watch football.
Yeah. Here with a 13-year-old girl after you blazed.
Oh, John Dupay.
You see how this looks?
I know how it looks. I'm very sorry. May I please leave?
Ron Knight, there was like a conspiracy that Mike Manzi was related to him, except I think it's been proven that he wasn't. Yeah, it's not true. So the people were thinking that was the reason why Mike Manzi's uncut interview hasn't been released, but I think it's because Hansen's website got taken down before he had the chance to upload it. So it's not because it was a little bit worse than this, but resisting arrest is such a light charge. Like, if you flinch a little bit, you could probably get. So there was a case, Miranda v. Arizona. Before that case, the police actually didn't have to give anyone their rights. Court said that violates due process. And so now, before police, obviously not before they arrest, they can arrest, but then before they question, if they want to use that questioning, they have to read them their rights. They have to get them to sign it. He's trying to say, oh, so you get them to say yes, right? So, oh yeah, you're thinking about eating. You were talking about. He's like, oh yeah. And you're also talking about smoking, right? Smoke and eat, and he kind of throws those together to get like, oh yeah, out of Manzi. That would be like circumstantial evidence, right? It's him implying like, oh, how's your downward dog? Clearly, that was a sexual innuendo, right? But you need more than that. I think it's clear he was there to do more than just smoke weed with her and eat pizza, right? I mean, she's home alone. He says, you're my soulmate. He says, oh, you're really cute. I could get in trouble by just talking to you. Bringing the marijuana. I mean, it's, again, this is where the prosecutor has to make a decision, right? He chose not to charge it. He didn't think that enough, and I think that's valid, obviously. I'm still in law school. I'm not an attorney. I've never made a decision like that. But I can see why he made that decision. I could also see if he wanted to make a different decision. I do think it was possible. But I just think this is one of those hard cases, right? Where you have those sexual innuendos. You have the circumstantial evidence. You have some things that imply like what he was there to do. But that's not always enough. So, all right, well, that wraps up the video. Hope you all enjoyed it. Go ahead and, again, subscribe if you want more. And then go ahead and let me know what Predators you want me to watch. More new ones from Hansen v. Predator, or the old To Catch a Predator ones, or if you want more chat logs or whatever, just let me know. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. So thank you for watching.